Hello, YouTube. This is, or Twitch, I suppose. Not really YouTube, although this will go on YouTube as well. Hello, everybody. This is Not Misfortune, bringing you the semifinal number 2 match between Osmos and Iron Commander. We have 2 semifinal matches today, back to back. And the second one, as you can see on your screens, will be Hope versus Magenra, and that match is going to be very exciting. But before we get there, I am joined by none other than Spiff, who just resubscribed to me. Thank you so much, Spiff. How are you doing?
Doing great. I'm looking forward to some good games today, especially this first one. I know that Hope and Magenra is going to be an exciting match, but I really like the old blood versus new blood dynamic that we've got here in this match that we've got coming up.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not very familiar with Osmos. He played in the 10-year anniversary tournament and did well in that one. And he played in the league, and that's pretty much all I know about him. Oh, actually, he played in the summer tournament as well, and he did fairly well in all. But he just, I think, struggles to win those major tournaments, as probably most people are. And as I say that, Fox Melon says hi, of course. Yeah, I don't know. Are you familiar with how Osmos plays from outside of these events?
Not a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
I know that he's done pretty well in a number of these events. Definitely put up a fight. Just hasn't been able to make it all the way through to stand up there on the winner's podium.
Yeah, for sure. And looking at the SCS standings, he is roughly, or not roughly, he is number 6 in that standing, and that it puts him just outside that automatic qualification as of yet. So he is playing in the Serpents Open Fall, which, by the way, if you have not signed up for that, go ahead and check that out. There's going to be sign up links on the Discords and below in the YouTube video. But yeah, he is just outside that top 5 that have already qualified by points, so he needs a strong showing here. Just a reminder for everybody watching, if he does win this match and then wins the final match, he will get the automatic qualification from the League Season 3, just like Hope did in Season 1, and then Fox Tremelin got that in Season 2. So that's 2 of our players, and then the other 3 have qualified based on points. That is Alpha Hex, Magenra, and the third one is Fortuna. So we got 5 players qualified so far.
So since Magenra is now in the semifinals here, what do the rules say if he actually goes on to win the final, since he's already seeded into the invitational?
So basically, well, it's kind of weird because Hope can win it too again, right, and qualify again. So it just basically
That's
means
right.
that the next number on the SCS table will get to go, and so 6 will qualify. So for 6 to be able to qualify, you actually need Hope to lose. So it's kind of weird. So if Hope wins this again, then he's gonna steal 2 spots instead of 3, if that makes sense. So there's going to be 2 players instead of 3 qualifying from the playoffs. So that will make it harder to qualify off the table. No, wait, it's the other way around. Oh my God, I'm sorry. There was a Halloween party last night. I'm still recovering. Okay, it's the other way around. If Hope wins, it will be better for Osmos because it will give another additional spot for people to qualify in. And if Magenra wins, it means he's stealing a spot away from the table, essentially. But anyway, that's not why we're here. We are here to talk about match number 1. Again, it's between 6th ranked Osmos versus 12th ranked Iron Commander. As you can see, pretty similar win rates there on your screen. But what are your thoughts beyond, the old versus the new, sort of, so to speak? What about the maps? What are your thoughts there?
Well, open palms. Really not much to say about that one. We know it. We love it mostly. Some of us don't love it so much, but hey, whatever. And yeah, it's the classic. You and I were talking about Desolatia right before this, and
Mm-hmm.
I said how surprised I was that it's actually one of the more balanced maps between the factions. Um, at least as far as our statistics from these matches go. That was really interesting to me. That we're getting a mirror match on open palms, so it's going to be both players can do the same thing. But for Desolatia, it's going to be Cybern versus Aeon. So I'm wondering if that and if was I reading that correctly that Aeon's actually the weakest on that map according to our statistics?
On Desolatia? I
Yeah,
believe so. Let me double check that. But I believe you're right. On Desolatia, Anne's win percentage is 46%. No, UEF. So Cybern has a little bit of an edge on Desolatia.
yeah. So that'll be interesting to see. I think Iron is really solid with his Cybern play though.
Yeah.
He has played all of the races, but I think that's where he's most comfortable. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he's going to put in a strong showing today on both of these maps.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I actually just realized this that Iron has actually picked a faction this time. He's actually not going to be random. So, yeah, we're going to have a mirror match on open palms, which is as great as it gets. Honestly, Cybern versus Cybern on open palms, this has the opportunity to go long game and produce some crazy experimental play. Game 2, Desolation going to be a little bit more close quarters. Cybern versus Aeon on that map, that can get crazy as well. As a reminder, Aeon has those MMLs unlocked at the start of the game, but we'll talk about that, I'm sure, more when we actually jump into that game. And then the final map, Powderhorn Mesa, will be needed if there's a tie, because of course we cannot have ties anymore. So we will decide whose faction or who plays which faction if we do need that game. But for now, we are going to leave you guys just for a little bit while we finish setting up the game. We have about 30 seconds on the clock left, but I think we're going to need a little bit more than that. I'm going to show you some trailers here. Make sure you sign up for all the things. And I'm really, really looking to these two games today because they are going to be great. We'll be right back, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the semifinal match. Yes, I have feed. Nice. Okay, cool. My stuff is working. We have Osmos and Iron Commander. Let's go ahead and introduce our player Spiff. That was a great introduction. I failed. I rest my case.
Good job, Knight. Good job. We'll start up here at the top. Spawning in as the blue Cybern Commander, we have Iron Commander, tossing down a quick air factory for that fast scout, I assume, and then queuing up a couple of land factories after filling in his mass. And who do we have on the other side there, Knight?
On the other side, it is none other than our green Cybern Commander with the name of Osmos making his way up to the front. He has built one quick land factory, producing loyalists out of that one, and it looks like he's going to try and contest that right-hand side of the field. I'm probably going to build some more factories over there. I don't know about this build, though. What are your thoughts on Osmos's opening here?
Well, he might get a little bit lucky in that he is moving forward, which is usually what you want to do against an air opening. You want to put pressure on. But this move towards the right side might slow that down a little bit because he's not pushing straight up into the center. Although I will say this factory placement is going to give him really good anti-air coverage.
Yeah, and I don't know if you had a chance to watch too many of Iron Commander's games, but he really likes to go for those flanks. He actually likes to open up with a 3-fac rush on this map and contest every single flank on this map, which makes him a very, very deadly player. And that's why I think Osmos prioritized that radar placement up front quite a bit more, is because he expected those to come out. But Iron is actually doing something that I haven't seen him do too much, is opening up with the air. And I say that lately because he's been opening up with a lot of land, but actually he used to do this build quite interesting or quite frequently. And the interesting part about this build is that in a situation like this, where there's only 2 land factories from Osmos, he actually likes to push with his commander, and it actually becomes very, very deadly. So we'll see what Iron decides to do here.
It looks like he's accepting the challenge on the right-hand side of the map here. No, he's just going for that mass extractor.
He's accepting the Queen's Gambit. The Loyalist Gambit.
The Loyalist Gambit, yes.
Oh man, where? Okay, so the reason why I asked you about that opening build is because I feel like it's a little bit inefficient in terms of production. Usually, you want to have three, key structures, whether it be production structures such as land factories or air factories, or a research station. And here, Osmos only has two. He's prioritizing quite heavily that mass expansion, however, and he actually built a anti-air station over there, so that was pretty good. But you see, Iron is actually now outproducing him a little bit because of those three key structures, those three factories that he has.
Yeah, and I'm really not sure that Iron is that far behind or behind at all on mass at this point.
Yeah, Iron Commander actually always impresses me with his expansion. And while he is a little bit behind in mass points, I think, right now, I think his engineers are positioned where they need to be to catch up pretty quickly. So I don't think he's that far behind. And Iron Commander's commander, I need to stop doing that, is making his way forward over here, trying to contest those expansion points on the right-hand side.
And now we're seeing a point defense creep, which is
Nasty.
pretty nasty.
That's nasty, and there's no Cobras, as a reminder. Well, actually, he might unlock them, because if these players are smart, they're going to wait to unlock that research. And there's engagement at the top of the map here.
Just like you were saying, Iron likes to go in on every flank at once.
Very nice focus fire on that mass extractor, getting that snipe. Osmos was just a little bit out of position, and there's a lot of PDs going on the bottom side of the map here, taking out all three mass expansions, and I'm sure the fourth one will fall here in just a second.
And Iron's just setting up shop.
Yeah, that's so rude. So rude. I think Osmos has bought into the airplay a little bit too much here, which is exactly what Iron likes to do with his build.
I mean, he has been producing... No, he hasn't been producing planes the whole time, has he?
He only built, I think, 5. Or
Yeah,
maybe no, or maybe that's
few.
his beginning 3. I think he's actually on his starting 3.
And he has turned the factory on, if it was off for a bit, but yeah, I don't think he's been continuously producing planes. I think he was relying on that overreaction, which is a really good strategy. It kills me often enough.
Those two bots getting a trade on that structure detonate, which is well worth it.
Absolutely.
No wreck to rebuild on, but Osmos does have a really good economy. Now he's trying to scramble, trying to get his 4th land factory up. But the problem is that Iron Commander already has his 5th on the way. And that's not even counting the air factory. This is actually very nasty from Iron Commander. When this happens, I would normally GG, but Osmos is a very good player, so he might have something up his sleeve. The problem here is that he did not open with any sort of research, which would be the way that would be the easiest to recover from this position, and he lost his opening essentially because he lost that expansion, which he prioritized quite largely enough, but did not manage to protect.
Other than that structure detonate, we really haven't seen any tech out of Osmos either, whereas Iron Commander has MMLs out on the field, adding to the factory TMLs. So he's going to win that long-range fight over time.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, no, there's still no research from Iron, but he's now rebuilding over the wrecks of Osmos, which is so rude. Now has Cobras out, and actually Osmos is taking MML fire to the face. This is not going well for our Russian player here. And look, this is exactly what I meant about Iron Commander's flanking play. He just keeps just a little bit of bots over there, although he mismicros them here right now. But it does keep Osmos on his toes, and I think he's not splitting his army to the best of his abilities right now. Switching to Brackman here, which might be a good idea because the longer this game goes, the bigger the blobs. There's actually a lot of point defenses, and Iron Commander keeps walking into them. So that's not very good, but Osmos does lose a land factory there.
It goes right back up, but...
There was more missiles incoming. Nice bombing run, no
Ooh.
split from Osmos.
Yeah, that was pretty painful.
And that factory goes down again. Should we go 3 for 3, Osmos? Another bombing run, 0 split. Ah, wow. And that is GG. Osmos realizing that there's simply no way back out of this position and decides to GG out of game 1, giving Iron Commander the quick 1-0 lead. As a reminder, this is a best out of 3. We will be right back with Desolatia, everybody. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to semifinal number 2. Our first player on Desolatia in the red color, spawning as the Aeon Commander. It is none other than Osmos, starting off with 1 land factory. Looks like that's it for now. Going to move his commander up to the front. Who do we got on the other side, Spiff?
Over here on the other side, spawning in as the green Cybern Commander, we have Iron Commander, who started off very quickly filling in his 4. I don't know when exactly the broadcast kicked in, but his score shot up super fast before Osmos could even do anything there. He's also leading off with Land Factory first, and then another Land Factory to follow it up.
All right, so far it looks like pretty standard play for Desolatia. Of course, we mentioned this a little bit briefly in our introduction, but Desolatia, of course, is known for those ledges where you can position those mobile missile launchers, and that gives a narrow advantage, I would say, to Aeon. But of course, our win percentages are, I believe, a little bit more in favor of Cybern. What do you think about this matchup on Desolatia?
I think Iron Commander knows how to deal with those mobile missile launchers. They can be really, really deadly if you're up against someone who panics or doesn't really know doesn't know to expect them on this map, like a newer player. But Iron Commander's been around long enough, and he's played this map enough times that he knows to expect it. And it looks like he's already sending these bots out to intercept the MMLs. He knows they're coming. He's also built his factories to perfectly protect these mass extractors with shields. So,
yeah, I didn't even notice that. That's actually a very good point. And another point is that he hasn't built a radar yet. He's just plopping it down. So he preemptively sent those bots, but now he's not seeing any kind of units over there. He's actually going to use that as a flank. And it looks like Osmos is not too worried about them because it is just 2 bots over there.
Yeah, he definitely knows what they're up to. He sees that on radar.
Yeah, let's see. Microing, if Iron micros well, he can actually kill these 2 tanks with these 2 loyalists here. Nice micro so far. And the tank is going to fall. Yes. Keep microing.
Ooh, he's got to be careful, though.
Point defense. I didn't even see that go up.
Yeah, it took a few pot shots at his commander and left those bots alone. And then as soon as the commander got out of range, it turned around and started shooting at the bots.
Let's see if you can get the radar with 1 loyalist. That would be just perfect. Man, it's so confusing. I was saying this before we started casting, but green is usually Osmos, so I want to say, and red is actually usually Iron, so it's like super confusing right now for me.
We do see Iron popping out some Cobras as well.
But look at these flanks. Holy crap. It's just like 1 bot, but that 1 bot is basically uncontested there. Let's see if Osmos uses that engineer to reclaim. Sack cap, maybe? A loyalist?
I don't know if that's a worthwhile trade.
Oh, definitely not. Why is Osmos's tank count so low? That's my question. Is he struggling for mass somewhere?
I don't know. I mean, he's only lost the 1.
And again,
I don't really think it's that low.
Iron is like ahead on mass expansion. What's going on here? Osmos is overbuilding point defenses right now. This does not look like a normal Osmos play, I will say. This is very preemptive point defense and also a very poor choice in this case because his Cybern opponent unlocked Cobras. What would you do in this situation? I know what I know what I have in mind.
You mean as Osmos? What would I
Yeah.
do? I would probably, let's see, probably tech to teleport and pick up the sniper bots along the way.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think Shajas would be very useful here to pick up the Cobras, and they're actually just a powerful unit as it is. Now there's a really good mix from Iron Commander. He's building adapters now, which aren't totally necessary in this case. And Osmos is just taking MML fire to his commander. He's actually at less than 25% health here. Oh my goodness!
Whew.
What is
Gets
going
out of there
on?
just in time.
It is not Osmos's day today.
He is bringing an engineer forward, but
Yeah, that is a lot of damage on your commander. And now Iron can just walk forward, tank a lot on his commander, and take out those point defenses, although right now he's being a little indecisive. Reclaiming, but taking more PD fire. Did I just see a Shaja fire? No. Oh yeah, there it is. It just popped out.
and unfortunately it's retreating.
I think he's just trying to bring it up to the back so that he can micro it.
Grouping up the Shajas.
Yeah, that's actually the smart thing to do here.
Yeah.
I guess he did sack cap on the bottom. I don't know what happened there. We missed it, but there's no engineer anymore.
There's also no bot though.
Yeah, there's 3 of them down there, so I don't know what happened there. We gotta do a replay. It's like a hero engineer with there probably. All right, these Shajas can be a game changer here. However, what's concerning me again is that Osmos doesn't have that later gameplay because he doesn't have an expansion this time around. He's way outproduced in terms of mass points.
Yeah, I mean, both players have been pretty even in terms of production up until now. But here's where Iron's economy is really going to take off, and he's going to be able to add on that next factory a little bit quicker, and then the one after that, and the one after that.
Yeah, and those Shajas are trying to break through those shields, but there's simply too many adapters at this point, and it's just volleys back and forth. Good micro by both players. Looks like Iron Commander is going to try and come down here. Nope, he turns around. Just kidding. It turns around again. What is going on?
Oh. And Osmos does peel off his MMLs and sends them into the spot.
Yeah, that's
Iron's
actually
ready for that with adapters.
Yeah, that's actually a little later than I thought it would be, but snipes off one of the adapters. There we go. All right, this is key. If Osmos actually wins this engagement on the bottom, which he can very well do, Iron is not responding in the middle because all of Osmos' army is here on the bottom. Just chooses to retreat. Something died. Oh, Mass Extractor fell for Iron Commander. Okay. That's actually pretty good for Osmos there. Oh, no. Looks like Iron is going to proceed down to the bottom. There's a bunch of sack caps in the bottom. Oh, my God. What?
No, that wasn't a sack cap. Iron captured Osmos' engineer as it was building that mass point.
This is so bad. The only thing that's going right for Osmos right now is that he's killing the mass points of his opponent. He's actually going to choose to push. I think that's actually a good idea here. Just try and go for a commander kill right here. I think that's a very viable strategy, and he should take it.
Especially with all those Shajas.
Yes, he should keep going, but be very of structure detonate, obviously. Oh no, he's taking MML fire to his army. Osmos, what's happening?
And Osmos' main base is getting pretty trashed at the moment.
Yeah, his only shot here is if he just goes for it at this point. There's no other option. And he has a shot here.
But he's taking his time trying to be safe and take out those...
Yeah, and I don't know what the hell is going on. He's taking so much MML fire. I've never seen anybody take this much MML fire. That is simply crazy. And we might have a little bit of a base trade here. which is a little more favorable for Iron Commander. Oh, man. This is actually a very frequent occurrence on Desolatia, is when players trade bases like this.
I don't know if we can really call this a base trade, though, because Iron still has his main base, and now he has Osmos's main base, too.
Yeah, Iron has everything right now. Hope is saying that Osmos can make shields and push. Yes, he can. But I think it's a little too late, and he just mismicroed way too much this game, and now he's being a little bit more reluctant. I'm not sure. I think he's trying to protect his two factories that are left, but there's really not much point. If he actually takes out this army, he might have a decent shot. Another mass point falls, though, so that's pretty decent. I'm not hating the position of Osmos here, but he has to make a move right now because Iron is building more factories in the back, also on the bottom right as well.
Yeah, he really does need to do something, and I'm not sure that splitting up his army is the right move in this position. I think he needs to make a decisive move on either the left force or the right force.
Yeah. And I think I'm just afraid that he took a little too long in making that decision here. Iron Commander, though, holy crap. Like, the rate in which he spread, like, that base was not there like 2 minutes ago. That's so crazy.
Yeah, it takes a lot of concentration to be able to be building all that stuff in the background and be microing your units.
Yeah. Those shot just very nearly... Oh, no, now they walk into the back and fire. Oh, my goodness. That is so painful. Structure Deado doesn't get anything. This is just going to slow down Osmos. Iron Commander knows exactly what he needs to do here. The one thing that he doesn't have going for him is that he doesn't have too much ground firing units. So if Osmos can figure out a way to break through those shields, he might have a slim chance at this.
Yeah, he still has to strike, though, while the armies are split.
Yeah.
His window's closing.
Doing a decent job microing, but right as I say that, he takes a massive shot to the Shajas. Oh my god. Yep, and Iron is just gonna run. He's just gonna run in the top right. Keep running.
Get out of there with his commander and pincher the army.
Yeah, and that's exactly what's gonna happen here. Beautiful play by Iron. He's gonna squish this army from both sides now. And Osmos, all he can do is walk in into structure detonate at this point. And he does control K. Two very, I would say, quick games, even though they were 15 minutes about. But Iron Commander does clinch out that win in Game 2. So he will proceed to the final with a 2-0 score. Spiff, any lasting thoughts on this match?
Iron Commander showing that the old pros still got it.
Yeah, for sure. Doing what he needs to do. As a reminder, he is that 12th seed right now, or 12th in league SCS standings. So he needs every chance that he can get to that invitational tournament at the end of the year, and that gets him just one step closer. He will be playing the winner between Hope and Magenra, which we will have up next. We will talk about that match in a little bit more detail. Unfortunately, we did not see Game 3 on Powderhorn Mesa, and I think Osmos, while he started playing a little bit better in that Game 2 towards the end of the game, unfortunately, that was just a little bit too late, and ultimately, I don't think we saw the full power of Osmos that he has shown in multiple other tournaments, including this league. So I hope that he will analyze these games and make the necessary changes like he can, and I hope to see him in the Invitational. He is, of course, the 6th seed, so he has a very good chance at qualifying for that. As for now, we're going to take about, what's the time right now? 12, so we're going to take about an hour 30 recess. We might actually just start at 1 like we planned to because we have about an hour. This game did not go as long as I thought it would, so we might actually start at 1 Central with our next semifinal. Semifinal number 1, I know they're kind of out of order and weird, but semifinal number 1 between Magenra, the number 1 seed, versus Hope, the number 2 seed in the SCS. Don't go anywhere. That's going to be a very, very interesting game. We'll be back.